Friday. I thought I'd start my Friday sews off a bit different this week because I'm down on the allotment. It's lovely and quiet apart from the birds singing and the insects buzzing around. I'm not sure if you can hear the bird song in the background, but I've had all different birds down here singing away to me this morning. I've been down doing a bit of weeding and watering before it gets too hot. It's about 9:30 now, so I'm going to head back home in a minute. And, oh, sorry, still got my sunglasses on there. I'm going to head back home shortly, hopefully to get some sewing done. I'm going to sew a top that I've had in my head for ages, since last year when all the little tie front tops were coming out. I wasn't sure about whether or not I liked them, and I didn't really want to buy another pattern, so I thought I would hack the Donny shirt because I like the Donny shirt. Made quite a few of them, so I'm going to do that as a hack with little ties up the front. Whether it works out or not, we shall see, but I thought I'd take you along with me. And also, when this vlog goes out, it will be my 1 year of vlogging. So hopefully things have improved a little bit since I started last year. I feel a bit more relaxed sitting in public places and having a chat anyway. So I'll take you along with the sewing. And also, lovely Minerva.com have given me a discount code to share with you all in celebration of me vlogging for a year. So I'll share that towards the end as well. I think the fabric actually that I'm going to use to make the hacked Donny is from Minerva. I've been an ambassador for them for, it must be about 8 or 9 years now. It's back before they had their big new website. There wasn't that many vloggers for them, and I did some step-by-steps for more their blog page rather than sort of the website posts as they are now. So I've been working with them for quite a while, so yes, they were nice enough to give me a discount code for you all. So sorry, I'm going to put my sunglasses back on. It is just too sunny. Hope it's not reflecting too much. So I'm going to head back and I'll take you on my journey of my sewing today. Bye for now. So what I'm doing is, and hopefully you can see here, I've traced off all my pattern pieces, but with the front and back, I've cut it off at the line that on the pattern it shows as a shorten and lengthening line. So I've traced it as that being the bottom. Same on the back, but I've done the straight line so it's not curved. Because I'm going to put a frill on the bottom, hopefully. That's what this bit is here at the bottom. I'm hoping that's going to be enough for a frill. Sorry, the light's shining in the window. And to make it an open front, what I've done is I've extended the facing there. So as you can see, I've just laid it all out on the fabric at the moment to see if it'll fit. But hopefully I'm not wobbling you about too much. When you put the facing over the front panel, I've lengthened it down to the bottom so it can open it all the way down to there. I won't worry about the facing going down onto the frill around the bottom because I'll add that on after. And then I've also drawn pattern pieces for some ties. So I'm hoping 6 ties if I've got enough fabric. It may end up as 4 looking at it, but I think with a bit of manipulation I should be able to fit in to do 6 ties. And then this bit up here is like a placket to go behind the opening, sort of in that section there, so it'll be half the width. I'll fold it over and that'll be a placket to go behind the opening of the ties. So that's where I've got to so far. So I might film myself cutting it out. If not, I'll show you when I've cut it out and I'm starting to put it together. cut it all out, and as you can see it took a little bit of manipulating, but I've only got a few scraps left to go in the scraps pile, so I'm happy with that. Right, so I finished sewing my ties. So while I'm turning these, I thought I'd answer some of the questions that you've sent to me. I asked on my Instagram and on a short if there was any questions that anybody wanted to ask. So first one was from my daughter. She was asking whether I'd sorted out any clothes from the Me Made May challenge, because my pledge was to try things on in my wardrobe that I hadn't worn for a while and get rid of them if I didn't want them anymore. So she was just seeing if there was anything that was going to end up in her wardrobe instead. Unfortunately, so far, no. But what I might do is I might let her come round and go through my wardrobe, see if there's anything she wants, and then that'll help me sort out a bit. Right, so what other questions we have? Oh, Jen Legg. She sent me the question, how long have I been sewing? Well, a long time. I can remember sewing, I probably did a little bit as a child, but my first real memories of sewing are when I was a teenager at school. I was probably about 13, and we did sewing as a subject for 6 months to try it out before we picked our subjects we wanted. And we had to make these horrible A-line nighties with scratchy bias binding around, and I wasn't at all impressed, so I actually went to a fabric shop in town, sorry about a van going past, and bought myself some fabric and a blouse pattern and made that myself. So that was the first sort of time of picking something myself. So yeah, so I said about 13, 14, so that's 35 odd years ago, near enough. No, 40 years ago plus. So yeah, very long time. So that was sort of the first bits. I then, when I had my children, having 2 girls, that was the opportunity to sew dresses for them. So that was when I started doing more sort of regular sewing. And also at that time, I made a friend that was very into sewing as well. If you've watched me for a while, you'll know that I did a vlog a little while ago saying about, sadly, a friend had passed away. That was a big sewing influence on me. And it was actually her that I know from my early 20s. And when my children were young, hers was the same age, we spent lots of time sewing. So that really sort of sparked the interest, and I probably picked up a lot of sewing knowledge from her. So yeah, so I've been sewing a long time. I would then say I have had breaks on and off as I've done different jobs. I haven't had so much time, but I would say in the last 7 or 8 years, I've picked up more. And probably, no, it must be longer than that now, because I made my younger daughter's wedding dress, and that'll be 9 years ago this year. And I already had my sewing room set up at that point because all the kids had left home. So yeah, and since then, I've sewn near enough non-stop, and I now make nearly all my clothes. So yeah, that's how long I've been sewing. Right, so back to this blouse. I am just turning these loops, not loops, ties. I've made 6 of these, and I've kept them quite fine. The fabric is quite lightweight, crinkle viscous, so it's not too bad to get nice narrow ones. It's a bit fiddly to start them. And I use this little turner, and it's got the little hook and latch on the end. I'm not sure if you can see that. So this bit, when you've hooked it on, this bit flaps up. But it's great for doing these very narrow ones. Sorry about my nails today, but they need redoing. I'm going to do them later. Or later in the weekend. I'm delaying because we've got gardening to do, so I will do them probably, or I might do them Monday. When I say do them, it's stick-on gels from a company called Glaze. But that's going totally off subject. Yeah, so I'm doing these ties here, and then I'll come back to you when I'm starting more construction. Right, so I've added the facing on the Donny as per instructions. Yeah, just following the instructions as they are up until now. So I put my facing on, which obviously is a much longer facing. So now what I've done, I've sewn the facing down to the same point as you would when you're making the standard Donny. And then underneath that, I have, so I'm trying to show you one-handed, I have pinned on the 3 ties. And then I'm going to attach the placket so it's sort of sandwiching the ties in, and then sandwich it in from with the facing as well. I've already done the other side, so I haven't put a placket on this one. But I've just sewn the 3 ties into that seam, and sewn the facing all the way down, ready to top stitch it once I've got this side done. Right, hopefully you could sort of understand my explanation, but now I've stitched it in, you can see the facing's there from the 3 ties sandwiched in, and just a little placket so that it'll do up over the gaps. And well, it'll cover the gaps when it's tied up. So now I'm going to carry on with the instructions as they are on the pattern. But for the next question, Helen from Stitch Rip Repeat asked me, do I have a favourite pattern designer, and if so, why? This was a difficult one because I couldn't think of a favourite that I've got. So I thought, right, have a look at my patterns and see if there's somebody that I tend to go to more than the others. And actually, looking through them, I've got a huge amount of simplicity patterns on the big 5 in general. I think that's because back when I started sewing, you didn't have the indie designers out there, so it was the big 5. And so I've used them for many, many years. So I've got quite a collection of those, and I still buy them from time to time too. For more independent designs, I've got a reasonable amount of Tilly and the Buttons. They tend to be for the basic things or basic shapes. So there's the Nora, I can't think of what it's called now. But yeah, I've got sweatshirt patterns from Tilly, and t-shirt patterns, and the denim of the skirt I'm wearing today is Tilly and the Buttons. So looking at what I've got in that, it tends to be the separates that I've got without the cocoa and things like that. So yeah, so I've got quite a few of those. One thing with the patterns that I've got in the big 5, there was quite a few of them which were the Mimi G ones from Simplicity. So I'm influenced a bit by her in my choice there. And what else have I got? Got a few of the Friday Pattern Company ones, a few of Closet Core, and a couple of the trend patterns. I like the trend patterns designed. If I'm sort of looking something a bit different, I will go and look at the trend patterns because I love the ruffle shirt. I have only got the ruffle shirt which I've made, and I've also got one of the dresses from them which I haven't made yet, so I can't say it's a favourite. So yes, I haven't really got a favourite, which is a bit of a shame because it would be nice to have a favourite that I'd go to every time I'm looking for something. But it tends to be I'm liking little bits of each one. And I think that's because I haven't really got a set style. I like sort of something that's a little bit different, something that I can add a personal touch to. So yeah, I've got my sort of basic shapes with some of them, but then I can adapt them. So yeah, haven't really got a favourite pattern designer. If I was talking about clothing designers, over the years it's been people like Alexander McQueen, Vivienne Westwood, all of those bits, sort of slightly rebellious little sort of style and designs. So that's sort of been in the past. So I can't say there's any shops or anything that influence me either, because I don't tend to walk around shops. I'd prefer to avoid town and shops as at all possible, because I'm not into looking around clothes shops, and I probably have done in the past, but yeah, not anymore. So yeah, so thanks Helen for that question, but I'm afraid I haven't got a favourite pattern designer. I just like them all about equally. Okay, so I'll carry on sewing now, and then I'll join you back in the next bit. Right, so I said I was going to carry on with the instructions as they're printed, and the next step should have been top stitching the facings down, but I haven't done yet because I'm going to add a frill to the bottom, so I'm going to get that on before I top stitch the facing so that it folds over the edge of the frill. But I thought I'd show you it so far. So I've got my ties on either side, the little placket here. It's very difficult to see with it being black. I've got my sleeves in, but I haven't hemmed them yet. And then at the back, when I cut the panel, I cut this straight because the Donny's slightly curved, but because I've shortened it for the frill, I've cut it straight. And then I've put a little label on the outside. That one says, "Hello Summer." So yeah, I'm just going to add the frill, and then I can do the top stitching, and then I'm done. Right, and I have finished, apart from a press and cut off a few loose threads. But yeah, I'm happy with that. The ruffle's not quite as full as I would have liked it. It's only very slight gathering in there, but I was restricted with the amount of fabric. But at least I can see whether it works when it's worn. So yeah, because it's a dark colour, it is quite difficult to sort of pick up the detail in here. But it's a lovely evening, and hopefully we'll go out for a walk this evening. So I'll pop it on and take some photos and hopefully add in here at the end. So right, my last two questions that I was sent, both of these are from Lucy, who's on Instagram as So Lucy Rose. So she asked, what challenge have I enjoyed? And if I was to have a unique challenge, what would it be and why? Well, I've done quite a few challenges, but I love the So Frugal as a challenge, because it really gets you to think, you know, outside your normal way of thinking. It gets you to look at fabric you've already got and to rummage through lots of different free patterns to find something that goes with the fabric you've got. So I really love that combination of getting you to use something that you've already got and to think about it. But a unique challenge, and what would it be? Oh, I don't know, with a unique challenge, possibly to make something for a certain person, as in you've got free reign. So somebody, maybe a celebrity, maybe just somebody known, or somebody that I know that's willing to let me have the free reign. I think that would be really good fun to sort of go a bit wild, look at their personality, and then not look at what they normally wear, but look at what sort of, how outrageous they're willing to go and things, and then design something for them. So I think that would be a really fun challenge to do. I see that might be my challenge. And the other question she asked is, have I ever been defeated by a pattern and would attempt it now I'm more experienced? Well, because I've been sewing for so long, I've been defeated many a time. Quite often it has been the fit, especially if it's something which is sort of a fitted dresses in the past. I don't wear so many dresses now, but in the past I used to wear a lot of dresses, especially when I had my salon. I dress smartly every day, and I'd find something with a fitted bodice, because I'm quite narrow across my back. I would always get issues where I'd always have loads of fabric at the back, and perhaps nowadays, yeah, when I've made patterns recently, I haven't had that problem. So maybe I ought to go back and look at those patterns again, because I've probably still got them buried away, if ever I need a dress, and try again, because that's always sort of been something that's defeated me. I've got them in the end with them, but it hasn't always been necessarily the best. Recently, the only one I can think of was the jumpsuit I was going to make for Plymouth Frocktails. It was a strapless jumpsuit. It was a simplicity pattern, and I just couldn't get the bodice to fit how I wanted it to fit. I took it in loads, I put more structured interfacing in, I changed the boning and put different boning channels, but I still couldn't get it to look like I thought it should look. I didn't persevere with that one. I cut the top, or didn't attach the top to the trousers. I put a waistband on it, and then I made a totally different pattern and made a corset for the top. So in the end, I think that was best, because it didn't have the faff of wearing a jumpsuit. But yeah, that one defeated me. I may go back to it at a later date and look at it again. But at the moment, I think I was happy with my solution. So that was my questions. Now, as I said, I think when I did an introduction earlier, that Minerva, because I'm an ambassador for them, they kindly have given me a discount code for you all. So it's 10% discount off of their site. So you can use it on anything, which would be quite handy at the moment, because I think it's one of the pattern ranges is half price at the moment. I can't remember, one of the big five. So you could use it on top of those bargain prices. If you're already a craft member for Minerva, you get that. You can use this code on top of your craft membership. This fabric is from Minerva. It's a viscose chalet, but I can't see it on their site anymore, so I think it must have been a dead stock one that they got in. It feels wonderful, so hopefully it'd be nice to wear. But yes, so I'll put the code in here and in the notes as well. So that's it for today, I think. Probably been going on for quite a while by the time I put all my little videos together. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, then please do subscribe if you would like to, because I'm up to 1020 now, so it's nice, it's creeping up. But yes, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again, and happy sewing.